This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
Well, that was an incredible interview.
Yeah,
with
what
David
a guy.
Webb. Yeah.
Incredible childhood. And
I wouldn't say incredible.
Well, incredibly tragic.
Incredibly tragic, heartbreaking.
And then just picking himself up on his own, basically self-taught to create these businesses and change the trajectory of his life from what it could have been, you know?
Yep.
His whole family, even grandparents, drug addicts in prison. And now he's owned multiple properties, multiple businesses, went into the Air Force for 8 years. So what an incredible story.
Crazy.
You know that guy's
room.
going to have success, whatever he does.
Locked in a room for 1 year.
Yeah.
That is insane. That's whatever. But on a different note, so there's this guy named Ed Milet. Ed Milet's big into one of his phrases is do one more, max out, do one more. And typically it's one person that can change the trajectory of a family's life.
Yeah.
For good or bad. And, David has the potential, if he ever, has kids or whatever, to be the person that changes the trajectory of his family's life. So his parents may have been in prison and druggies, but he's going to change the trajectory.
That's right.
But as far as real estate goes, in the real estate news, there are some things that are taking place that are changing the trajectory of real estate potentially. So we talked about, how Zillow is trying to become this end-to-end user experience.
We're not going to talk about Zillow again this week, are we?
We're not talking about Zillow because what's interesting is Rocket Mortgage. So there's been two main, heavyweights duking it out in the world of lending. United Wholesale Lending, UWL, United Wholesale Mortgage. I get the two mixed up. There's a local guy here who uses a similar brand. UWM, United Wholesale Mortgage, and Rocket. And if you are a broker with UWM, you cannot use the products. You can't broker out to Rocket. They don't allow it. There's some people who've figured out some workarounds. I get it, but typically speaking, oil and water. And out of left field, it feels like Rocket Mortgage has just come and they bought Redfin.
Okay.
Out of left field. And now all of a sudden, one of the top real estate websites in the country is now owned by this loan company.
Right.
Rocket recently purchased Mr. Cooper. I'd never heard of Mr. Cooper, but Mr. Cooper is the largest.
It was a TV show in the 90s, Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Okay. All right. I'll take your word on it.
But it's also what kind of company?
So Mr. Cooper, as far as real estate goes, is the largest loan servicer in the country. So what that means is 1 out of 6 loans that are, somebody's paying a mortgage on, 1 out of 6 of them is held by Mr. Cooper.
Okay.
So what Rocket has done effectively is they have now bought this massive billboard to generate leads for their loan company, and now they have this cash flowing machine of Mr. Cooper where these loans are being serviced month after month after month.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal is believed that they are now trying to create similar to Zillow. And by the way, Rocket Mortgage is like twice as big as Zillow. So as far as market cap, so now there's this entity that's potentially larger than Zillow, playing in Zillow's sandbox, trying to create a competing end-to-end customer experience. And what that has to do, so for real estate agents, there's a lot of, are they going to compete with us? Are they going to edge the real estate agents out? But I'm more interested in how it affects the consumer, because the consumer is the one that has the final say.
Right.
And I was literally just, driving home one day, and I was like, what industry genuinely has an end-to-end user experience?
Well, that's the ideal goal, I think.
I know, but is it a goal? So is an ideal like your horizon, something that you'll aim for but never actually reach? Or is it something tangible that these companies can pull off? That's the main. I think that's the $1 trillion question.
These companies, they look at certain aspects of what they do, and they're limited at first on what they're able to do. Whether it's just Redfin, just providing leads to different homes, or advertising homes for sale. And obviously, as a business grows, they want to stop outsourcing all of those different departments of their business, right? Their industry per se.
Yeah.
Their industry is bigger than just when someone buys or sells a home, there's lots of different transactions that take place, right?
Oh, there's lots of people involved.
Right. There's lots of people involved, different expertise. And so if you're able to, under one umbrella, under one roof, handle all those different departments, like a department store, right? You have a Macy's and you have a men's clothing and women's clothing, baby clothing, furniture. You have all these different departments. Why not house them all under one roof and you bring in all that revenue instead of outsourcing it to different companies? Because that's the goal.
Because the only way that I'm envisioning this working is if there is no other option. So Macy's is not doing very good right now.
Oh yeah,
Sears,
brick and mortar retail
Sears,
in general,
Kmart. I mean, even Amazon is getting some threats, right? And so, and the reason why they have threats is because people want options.
They do. That's true.
And if you're creating an end-to-end ecosystem, you're removing options for the consumer.
Well, just because Rocket Mortgage is creating an end-to-end experience doesn't mean there's not other options, but some people want simplicity. Some people want to just go to one person and can you just handle it all for me?
I know,
right?
But is it worth billions of dollars for the some people that want that? Most people want options. Like when I sit down.
Why do they want options?
Because they want to shop around, make sure they're getting the best rate, make sure it's the best fit for them. They don't want to feel like cornered or forced into having to do something against their will. Even if it might be the right choice for them, they want to have a say in that choice. And you remove that freedom of choice by saying, hey, you know what? We're going to help you find the house. By the way, we're going to give you a discount if you use our lender. By the way, we're also going to give you a discount if you use our title company.
There you go.
But people are like, well, I don't want to use your lender. I want to use my lender.
Well, they're not forced to, are they? They're not forced to.
So they're
just given, again, an option.
They're given an option. But for example, like JJ, fantastic lender. JJ Mack with American Pacific Mortgage, incredible lender. He has a program right now that nobody else offers where you can actually buy the next house that you're going to move into before selling your existing home. This isn't a bridge loan.
Right.
This is like nobody else has this product. Rocket doesn't have this product. So if you're going to enter into Rocket's ecosystem now, you're going to have to use whatever products they have. And that restricts the consumer's ability to choose. So Rocket is not going to be everything to everybody all the time.
Right.
We were just talking with David, and he was talking about how you have to niche down. They are not. They're trying to, instead of excelling in one area or two areas, they're trying to excel in all of them. And I cannot think of a company that has done that.
I think there's a lot of companies that do that maybe not in real estate per se, not in the real estate industry, but there's a lot of companies that provide multiple types of service. Costco, for instance, you can go to Costco and you can get your grocery shopping done. You can get gas. You can get your tires replaced. You can go to the optometrist, and they've got a lot of different services at Costco all under one roof. And that's why a lot of people like Costco. I can get all this stuff done and I don't have to go to different places. And I think there's a customer a demographic who's interested in some simplicity like that. Hey, I don't have to go to a lend. I have to go to meet with all these different people. I can meet with one person and they can handle it all for me. I mean, they're not dumb. They got to understand there's a marketplace for it.
But Costco isn't the only option.
Right, I get that. And
there's not like a dominant in order for this to like really pay off for these people, they want to have an end-to-end consumer experience. They have to have a significant amount of market share. Like, just because Costco provides it doesn't mean Costco's excelling at it. Like, you can go to Sam's Club. Like, you can
get better tires. You can get someplace else.
You can get better
maybe.
tires. You can get a better deal.
Right.
And there are
better produce at Rayleigh's or Bel Air.
And so all that to say is, it may work out for Rocket. It may work out for Zillow. I don't know. But at the end of the day, what I think the consumer is going to want is options, and by definition, creating this end-to-end. So, for example, Apple has a very, very small, they create an end-to-end experience, right? In their suite of services, probably better than anybody else.
Yeah.
But they represent a small fraction of smartphones and PCs used globally.
Right.
right? And so
same thing with like Xfinity, right? Xfinity is involved in so many different aspects of entertainment, whether it's television, film production with Universal Studios. They're involved in cell phones. They're involved in internet. They've got they make phones.
Yeah.
They're involved in so many. Now, is it the best quality and options in every one of those departments? Absolutely not. But like you said, they offer those package deals where you can get, we're going to give you, streaming and Peacock and internet.
But
and all
I like the Apple example because there's very few people that want that. There's very few.
You think so?
Yeah, just based off market share. There's very few people that like market share being how many people have iPhones, how many people have MacBooks, iPads versus the Android, Samsung, PC products. And so I think there's just a very limited amount of people. And even within that Apple community, there's people who wish that they could have more options, but it's too much of a pain to leave that ecosystem. With real estate, it's not a pain to leave the ecosystem. You throw a rock, you hit 10 realtors, you know?
Good point.
So I think they're chasing the wrong thing. I wish, everybody the best of luck. But if you're looking to buy or sell a house and you want a guaranteed offer on your home, you want
options.
You want options. So that's a great thing that we do. If you go to madeformorerealty.com, we're not giving you one cash offer. We're going to get you multiple cash offers. And if you don't like any of those, we can list your house the traditional route. So rather than have to, search around and look for people who may not be the most reputable, we have over 1,000 5-star Google reviews.
And you've got a variety of different options when it comes to lenders, right?
Lenders. And, at the end of the day, you expect more, you get more with our company. So just go to madeformorerealty.com to get your guaranteed offer.
So guys, if you're looking for options like we were just talking about, nobody gives you more options than Johnny Jennings and his team at Made for More Realty. One example is they guarantee to give you at least 3 cash offers. That way you get at least 3 options, cash offers on your home in as-is condition. You don't have to do costly home repairs, none of those showings, no open houses. 3 cash offers at least on your home in as-is condition. Plus, they've got tons of connections to different vendors and different contractors if you do want to do those repairs on your home and sell it. So if you want options, nobody provides more than Johnny Jennings and his team at Made for More Realty. Hey, maybe that's why they have more 5-star Google reviews than anyone else in our market, over 1,000 of them. Here's what you got to do. Just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. One more time, Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty, and get more for your home.